Hello everyone. In this session we shall discuss about two wonderful looping statements. Basically they are statements, control statements or control structures you may say. One is a while statement, the other one is a do while statement. So obviously we are going to understand, we are going to study these two looping statements using programs, working programs. So this is my program. It's a mathematical problem to find the sum of first n natural numbers. Obviously there is a formula n into n plus 1 by 2. We are not going to use that formula. Okay, so we are going to take each number and find the sum. Okay, for example, if you want to find the sum of first 5 natural numbers, that means 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So I will take 1, then add it with 2, then again you add that sum to 3, then add that sum to 4, and then finally to 5. Okay, so I'm not going to use the formula. If you just use the formula, you don't need to use a looping statement. So just for the demonstration, just for demonstrating how we can use this while statement and how this while statement works, I'm using this different technique. Actually this is the basic technique. Okay, that is how you find the sum of first n natural numbers. Natural numbers means the set starts with 1, correct? The natural number set, it starts with 1. So this is my program. Here I have some variables I, sum and n. N is for the first n natural numbers. That n you will have to read from the keyboard, whether it is first 5 natural numbers or first 10 natural numbers or first 20 natural numbers, whatever n is, you will have to read from the keyboard. You have to prompt the user, you have to question the user. What is your n, my friend? Okay, so then our wonderful user will enter the value of n. For that n, you will have to find the sum of first n natural numbers from 1 to n. Correct? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n minus 1 plus n. That will be the sum of first n natural numbers. Is that correct? Yeah. Now you can read that n using scanf. N is a variable, int is a variable. So ampersand n will give the address of that variable. So that value will be stored in n and I equal to 1. Why I is 1? Why I? I is the starting number of the natural number set. It is 1. So you start with 1, then you will have to reach n. So obviously you will have to increment I each time, because initially the natural number set is 1. Then the next number is 2, next number is 3, next number is 4. So initially I is 1, but you have to repeatedly increment I, add 1 to I repeatedly. That is called incrementing repeatedly. Okay, I'll be using an increment operator. I'm introducing this increment operator for the first time. And what is this sum? Sum will give the final added value, the final sum. Okay, for example, if it is first 5 natural numbers, you start with 1, you add 1 to 2, you will get 3. 3 is the sum. Then you add 3 with the next number in the set, that is 3. 3 plus 3 equal to 6. Then you add that 6 to the next number in the natural number set, that is 4. So 4 plus 6 is 10, and you add that sum with 5. 10 plus 5, you will get 15. So each time the sum is getting added up. Okay, something like cumulative. So you will have to keep that tentative sum. It changes all the time. Okay, so initially sum will be sum plus I, because initial value of sum is 0. So initial value of I is 1. and that 1 is the first number in the natural number set. So 0 plus 1 is 1 and sum is 1. When the number is 1, when you have the first number, then sum is not 1 only. When you take next number in the natural number set, that is 2, you add 2 to 1, then 2 plus 1 will be the sum. So to take the next number in the natural number set, you perform I plus plus. Okay. So any looping statement will be controlled by a condition. Condition means it will have either a true or a false value. Because when the condition is true, as long as the condition is true, the loop will be executed. Basically, this looping, it will repeat one or more statements. For example, there is a block here. Block means a set of statements included written inside a pair of braces or flower brackets. Okay, a group of statements written inside a pair of braces, that will be a block. So this while, under while, I have a block of statements. So this block will be repeated as long as this condition is true. Let us check whether the condition is true. N value, let us assume n is 5. Okay, let us just assume the user has entered 5. So 1 less than or equal to 5. Yes, 1 is less than or equal to 5. The condition is true. So you enter inside the loop. And what is this sum equal to sum plus I? How this will be evaluated? So this is assignment operator. Whenever you have assignment operator, you will have to evaluate the right side first. Sum is 0, I is 1. What is 0 plus 1? 1, and 1 will be stored in sum. And you will have to take the next I value, the next number in the natural number set, that is 2. So I will become 2. What is I plus plus? This is equivalent to I equal to I plus 1. You are just adding 1 to the value of I. I equal to 1 and I plus plus will make I as 2. Now you come to the end of the block. Instead of going to the next statement after the block, you will go back to the condition checking, because this block will be repeated as long as the condition is true. Only when this condition becomes false, you can go to the statement which is after the block, which is following the block, which is written after the block. Okay, that is the purpose of this looping statements. They change the control. They repeat a set of statements. So the control flow will be here only. It will be going on repeating, looping. Okay, you can see the loop here. So I will become 2 less than or equal to 5, correct. Then 2 will be added to 1, you will get 3 is stored in sum. Then I will become 3, then I will become 4, then I will become 5. When I becomes 6, is 6 less than or equal to 5? False. Then you will come out and print the value of sum. Okay, now if you have not understood, just rewind this recording, and here again I have explained everything in detail. Okay, and this is some explanation of what I have already told you. While is a looping statement. The instructions or statements written inside the while loop will be repeated based on the value of a variable. That is called loop control variable. In the previous program, the loop control variable is I. I controls the execution of the loop because I constantly varies. N remains the same, but I constantly varies. As soon as I becomes greater than N, then you will come out of the loop. So the number of repetitions will be controlled by the value of that variable. Okay, here the number of repetitions will be n, correct? And in the previous program, if the variable I, it is a variable I that decided the number of repetitions, correct? So actually it is n. I also controls because I constantly changes. And while loop will be executed as long as the condition is true. And when the condition becomes false, the loop will be exited or terminated. This is another program which demonstrates how the do-while looping structure works. Here the program is the same, the problem is the same. You have to find the sum of first n natural numbers. Here instead of giving the condition here at the beginning of the loop, I have written the condition at the end of the loop. Just observe the semicolon here. You have to keep a semicolon here. Okay, that is a syntax of do while loop. That is how it is written basically. Now you jump into the loop right away. You execute the block even without condition checking. This is exit control loop. The condition will be checked at the end of the loop. That is why it is called exit controlled loop. What is the sum? Sum equal to 0, I equal to 1, sum equal to sum plus I. This explanation I have already given in the previous program. Now, so what is the first condition? I is 2 here. Initially I was 1, I becomes 2 here. 2 less than or equal to 5. That is the first condition that is checked. In while loop, the first condition that is checked is 1 less than or equal to 5, if you remember. But here the first condition that is checked is 2 less than or equal to 5. Yes, that is correct. You go back, add 2 to 1, sum will become 3. Then increment I will become 3. 3 less than or equal to 5, that is true. Go back, add 3 to 3, 6. Increment I will become 4. 4 less than or equal to 5, correct. Go back, add 4 to 6, sum will become 10. I will be 5. 5 less than or equal to 5, that is correct. Add 5 to 10, the sum will be 15. Increment I will become 6. 6 less than or equal to 5, it is false. You come out of the loop. This is how the loop is executed. So this is exit controlled loop. So based on the value of variable that controls the number of repetitions, the loop will be repeated. It is a variable I that decides the number of repetitions, n also. Okay. In the do while loop, the condition checking will be done at the end of the loop, so it is exit control loop. So thank you very much. We shall stop here.